Good morning. I'm Dr. Robert, and on this edition of 5-ish Minutes with Dr. Robert, I'm going to talk a little bit about prana. As far as I can tell, the real fundamental basic difference between modern science and Indian science is that modern science believes that the entire universe was generated from a singularity and manifested as matter and energy, and somewhere later, by some deus ex machina process, consciousness emerged. Whereas Indian science suggests that consciousness was primal, and that the Big Bang event from which the singularity created the universe was one in which consciousness progressively became more objectified, more dense, and more inert, more like matter, for example. In the process of the evolution of this singularity into manifested reality, the 5 great elements were created, one of which is the air element. And the air element, all of these 5 elements possess that original consciousness, and they express that original consciousness in living tissue in a particular way. The air element expresses it in a very particular way that we call in Sanskrit prana. The Chinese call it chi, the Japanese call it ki. Different other societies have had different words for it, but every society, every traditional society that worked with the environment understood that there was a principle of life, something that was always driving the desire to manifest, to stay alive, to propagate, to reproduce. That same force that takes a zygote and changes it from one cell into 100 trillion cells. Prana is what we are swimming around in. There's prana everywhere. We're taking it in all the time. We're expressing our own prana. We're projecting it outward with our own qualities and vibrations associated with it. We take it in immediately as we breathe. It is not oxygen, though people have tried to conflate the two before. It is something that is much more subtle than the manifested things of our universe, but it drives the expression of life and everything that is living protoplasmically in our universe. We take in prana by breathing, we take in prana by eating, we put out prana every time we apply the attention of our sense organs to something, because wherever attention goes is where prana goes. In these days when our attention is being grabbed by our devices, it's being grabbed by news on a 24-hour basis, it's being grabbed by everything that's going on around us that's unusual and interesting and piques our curiosity. Every time we put our attention outwards into something that has grabbed hold of our attention, some of our prana goes along with that. So it's not surprising that the majority of people have their prana going in many, many, many different directions. This is a guaranteed way to cause vata to become aggravated, because the difference between prana and vata, both of which have come from the air element, is that prana is focused, circulates well, goes deep into the tissues, makes the body feel well-nourished, healthy, and relaxed. Vata is superficial. Vata moves in all different directions. Vata is not coherent. Vata makes the body feel depleted, empty, and reduced, and of a quality of reduced vitality. It's particularly important that we focus on circulating prana inside the body, because for all of our individual cells, and especially not only human cells, but especially the cells of our microbiome, all the microbes that are, as we're finding out, really the beings that are driving evolution, prana is the supreme being. Prana is consciousness that enlivens them. Prana is the vitality that allows them to do what they do. They look to prana as we look towards the ultimate reality. When we do not provide them that prana, they cannot provide to us what we need to have, which is a body of individual cells that work together to cause us to move in the direction that we need to move as individuals. So please, pay attention to your prana and make sure that you are circulating it, cultivating it, and giving it the respect that it deserves. This is Dr. Robert saying all the best. Have a good day.